Hey class, Cindy Shelton here, and I'll be your instructor for this class. I wanted to show you a little around my course and the way I have it designed for you, and hopefully this will help you get off to a good start in the class. All right, so this is me, and let's see. I got here from your Blackboard shell, which you can get to your Blackboard shell from our homepage, KCTCS's homepage, or from ACTC's homepage. So you click on this is Blackboard, and you'll see a list of any courses in which you're enrolled. And so we're looking at your college algebra, which is Math 150. And you open that up and it looks like this. And there's these different links, they're modules, and when you click on them, they have a drop down that collapses and comes back together. So there's stuff inside of that. So I've made a note. Click here to start so you'll know you can click and see more. But anyway, navigating the course, I will upload this video to that particular link so you'll have it if you need to look back on it again throughout the course for any reminders. Then your syllabus and course calendar. Let's look at that together. So the syllabus will tell you the details and kind of the course contract, what details in there. So I do encourage you to read that, but I'm not going to open that one just right now, but I encourage you to. I want to show you the class schedule. That's probably the more day-to-day, user-friendly information you're going to need. So we can see that it officially starts May the 18th, Monday, May the 18th, and the first week, the reading or the pace that you should be on is chapter R and 1. This is probably the hardest part of the whole course is the first week. So if you get into week 1 and you're like, oh my goodness, this class is pretty tough. It does, I think, get much easier after that first week. So for one thing, chapter R is optional. It's the review chapter, but a lot of students really need to look at chapter R to refresh your memory if it's been a little while since you've been in an algebra course, or if you didn't ace your last algebra course, you may want to start in chapter R. So I definitely encourage you to do that. But like I said, it does not count in your grading, so it's just there for you to get extra practice. So the first official assignment is this chapter 1. And there are Blackboard videos and all kinds of helps for you to learn the material, and I'll talk to you about how you do that first. And then the assignment is to do chapter 1. There's homework and quizzes within the MyLabs Math link, which we'll look at as well in a minute. And that's all due on Monday, May the 25th. Most of my due dates are Monday nights. You'll see. Then the second week you do chapter 2, which is the graphing chapter, and that's due Monday, June the 1st. Then you take a midterm exam over chapter 1 and 2. So hopefully you've kept good notes as you go through this, so you'll have everything you need to just get in there and do that midterm the third week. So there will be a study guide, a thorough study guide, and then the exam comes directly from the study guide. That is due June the 8th. Then the next week, chapter 3, we move to the second half of the course. Then chapter 4. Due on Monday. Then chapter 5. Chapter 5 is shorter. It's just 2 little sections. So you'll do that. That's due Monday, June the 29th. Then the final thing you do, June 29th through July the 3rd, and that's when your class ends. It's a 6 weeks course, right? Six and a half-ish. So that's your final exam, and that's over chapter 3, 4, and 5. And that is due July the 3rd by midnight. So that's a Friday. That's the only time I get away from that Monday deadline thing. So that one is a Friday. That's the last day of our class. Okay, so let's look at other things. Okay, so that is the course schedule and syllabus. Then you have a syllabus quiz. I ask you just to take that Monday. Well, why not? Just go ahead and take that very first thing. So you do need to get started Monday, so why not take the syllabus? It's just a short little quiz, and you do get points for it. Just to let me know you're out there and you're active in the course. So you can link from there. A little information about me and some other support links. So let me collapse that back down. Next, you'll see MyLab Math student links. Inside this link you'll get a lot of information here. This is the book and the such. So first of all, the first link is all the course assignments. They're also embedded individually in the modules below, but here you can click as well. So there's multiple places to get to the same assignment, but this lets you have access to every assignment throughout the course. So you'll see the syllabus quizzes here as well. Same thing, and it shows the due dates. Notice chapter R, no due dates, because like I said, that's optional, but it's good stuff. So I hope you'll look through this and it'll give you a good base to get started. You may or may not need that. So officially the course material starts on 1.1, and so you'll take 1.1 homework, and then you'll do a quiz 1A. Notice you can take it infinity times, so infinite attempts until May the 25th. So all of these may be taken as many times as needed to get that perfect score until the deadline. Just try to stay ahead of that deadline. So there are your Chapter 1 assignments due on the 25th. Then you'll proceed to Chapter 2. So notice you have these notes and study aids. These are the notes and study aids out of the book, the Pearson product. It has not me personally in the videos, so these are generic textbook links, and they're great. So I encourage you to make use of these, and there's a lot. It's kind of overwhelming, huh? But there's maybe more there than you'd ever want to know. There's lots of examples of the various concepts within each section, and you can see this is the textbook, so you can read the textbook. There's a video, there's some animations, so there's various helps there to learn the material. So that's really step one. You've got to kind of attend lecture before you start the homework. I'll show you another way to do that here in just a minute. But anyway, that's inside the assignments. Let me finish looking. I don't know if I showed you everything I wanted to say there. Okay, so we've got Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and it just keeps going from there. When you get down to the midterm test, you will only have one attempt. Notice there's no infinity there, just for one attempt, and you have 2 hours to complete that. It's not proctored, so you can take it at home in the comfort of your own home, but I expect you to do your own work and to feel empowered by the time you've worked through the course materials and you made good notes. Hopefully you're just in a good place to take that and you just ace it on that just one try. Anyway, notice there is a little flag on this that says you must score at least 80% on the midterm study guide before you can open the midterm test. So the study guide is very important. It helps you prep for this test. So it's so important. I wanted to make that as a stipulation before you start your test. And then we move on. And then at the end of the course, same thing on the final. You have a requirement of getting at least 80% on that final exam before you start the test. It's again a 2-hour test, and you can only take that once. And then that's it, and you would be all done. Okay, also, there's a link for your gradebook, and this is programmed with the syllabus. It should be just the way that you read this in your syllabus. Your homework is 20% of your grade, your quizzes are 40%, and your tests are 40%. There's 2 tests, the midterm and the final, so they're each worth 20%, making that category. So you should be always able to look and see what your grade is at this point. Then there's the textbook. You have access to the full textbook in this link. So I encourage you to read the textbook. I don't know, I'm going to take time not to, I don't think I'll take time to open that, but I wanted you to see. And then these other links aren't quite as used all the time, so you can look there. There are some study plan things if you need extra problems to work and other helps, but those are the main 3: the assignments, the gradebook, and the textbook. There's an introduce yourself link discussion board, so be sure to introduce yourself to the class so you know who's out there and you can correspond with one another. Then we start the course content. So you'll see here the first module is the review chapter. Like I told you, that's optional, so you don't have to do that, but you may want to do that. I have, for each section that we cover, I have personal videos of the most pertinent things that you need to know about each section. So you'll notice this is me, and so you can click on these and hear all the information you need to know about each section and take notes as you go. So I encourage you to at least listen through those. Even if you don't work all the problems, maybe listen to all those videos to know what at least is in those sections, to be aware of that. All right, then here is Module 1, the first chapter, official chapter of the course. Again, every chapter, every section has a lecture. There's a classroom lecture you attend, where I have my personal videos recorded just as if you were in class. You can listen to each lecture. Then I've also recorded some sample problems here talked through some of the problems in your specific homework, so that's also very helpful. Okay, so I want you to know that was there. So that's how you move through the course, a section at a time, keeping good notes, then taking your quiz. Let's see, so you can link to the homework here, or you can click on the all assignments. So like I said, there's a couple ways to get to these assignments. You can click as you go, or you can just click the all assignments. You can see there's 19 questions in 1.1. And within this, let me see if I can scoot this over. There are question helps. So be aware, you can, sorry, I've stressed my computer. You can click on the question help and it will help you find the textbook page to study this, or there's a link for viewing an example of a problem that's like that. Ask the instructor link, so it'll send me an email directly to my cindy.shelton@kctcs.edu. So you can see that here as well. Oh, there we go. And so there's lots of helps within each problem. There's a skill builder which says, let's go back and see different steps and skills that you need to know to do this problem. So that's helpful. You can print the problem. You can send, this sends me a direct email. And that's how I do like to be contacted, through my email. The messenger in this shell specifically, it doesn't link to my phone, and so I don't see those as readily. It might be the end of the day or the next day before those show up even. So, but if you send me an email, I see that immediately. So that's the best way to contact me. All right, so that's how that looks. All right, and then when you're taking a quiz, oops, clicked on the wrong one. When you're taking a quiz, you won't see those helps listed. Oh shoot, sorry about that. But anyway, when you take the quiz, let's find another quiz. Quiz 1B, for example. When we click on that, you just start the test. And when you're finished, you hit submit. You'll work through these 7 problems. Let's see, it's not letting me show you all the screen at once, but notice there's no helps listed. You just take your quiz, type in your answer, move along through your questions, and I'm going to just hit the submit button here. Submit the quiz. It says you didn't do very well. And then it will tell you what you got right and wrong here in this case. When you click on each one, it tells you what the correct answer should be. And so you can go back through and kind of figure out what you need to study and then go back and try it again. All right, so I'm expecting you just to work this design and be very successful. Let's see, one other thing I'd like to tell you, I think this is kind of hard to notice, but along the left-hand side, there is an announcement tab. So just be aware that I'm going to actually put this in your announcement tab here in a minute. You'll see that posted. So you can always go to course announcements to kind of review what I've said if you need to double check something. The other thing you see is there's a Blackboard Collaborate, join session. That's a place where we can meet together and I can tutor you if you have questions on any of the material. We can talk together here. I also like Zoom, so I can send you a Zoom link and we can meet together on Zoom if you prefer. So Blackboard Collaborate is sort of like Zoom but specific inside of our course shell. So anyway, I will correspond with you if you have questions throughout the semester. You send me an email and say, hey, I'm having trouble with whatever section, whatever concept, and I will Zoom and talk to you personally. So try to work the plan and see if you can get it from watching the videos first. Make sure you attend my lecture and attempt your homework. But if you do all that and something still isn't clicking, something that maybe I did not make clear in the material, please do reach out to me and then we can talk through and work some problems. So I'm wishing you just great success, and if you have any questions, make sure to stay in contact with me. Best wishes for your success.